every test you go through is sent to you by the universe that is exactly on your level. The challenger, your opponent, is exactly equal to where you're at in order to get you to your next level. And the only reason the next level isn't comfortable is because it's not your current level. It's a level that you're not familiar with. So of course you don't see it. Of course it's illogical. Of course it's dark.
So what are the three things that lower our vibration then from manifesting more?
Three things I would say that lower our vibration from manifesting more. Probably the top of the list. It has to do with limited belief systems and competing belief systems. So what's a limited belief system? And I interact with people on a daily basis who, when they talk with you, they eventually reveal what their limited belief systems are. Like, so for example, a limited belief system, I had a guy who had a business, several businesses, and he's able to scale his company to a certain amount of revenue, let's say whatever it was, like 10 million of revenue. Each company can easily scale to that point. But something always happened at 10 million of revenue. Lawsuits would come in, employees would leave, chaos, challenges, government issues, and it was a repeated pattern in each of his companies. What this means is, as the founder that controls the energy of the company, there's something that's limited in his consciousness and his belief system that gets triggered at the 10 million mark. One of the things could be, for example, here's a belief system that people who are too wealthy or successful actually it's not a good thing, or that money becomes evil after a certain point. So for him, he had a deserving issue. He realized he didn't deserve to have wealth beyond that amount. And so there's a part of him that started to sabotage subconsciously the company at the 10 million mark. I had another person that I used to work with. She has 20 employees, maybe a company that's 5 million in revenue. And she's asking, why can't I grow this company? It's been stagnant for years. So I asked her a question. I said, what do you not like about your business? She said, I don't really like managing employees. I think they're a pain. I think there's always issues. There's entitlement. It drains me all day long. I hate dealing with employees. So I told her, I said, when you're on a Zoom call trying to close a new client that will bring you $1 million of revenue, do you realize that you are subconsciously hoping that she does not sign up with you because it means you're going to have to hire 5 more employees to service her account? So there is a part of her that wants the growth, and then there's another part of her that subconsciously is sending out a vibration saying, I hope I don't grow. So that's a competing belief system.
What are the things you see today? You've coached, I think, hundreds or thousands of people, I think 20,000 hours of coaching on these spiritual laws. What are the things that are stunting people's vibration that's hurting them from manifesting more?
Well, in order to understand what's stunting people's growth and vibration, it's good for people to know what they're made up of, because we as souls are vessels of energy. So in the same way that a 60-watt bulb can hold 60 watts of energy, if I want to be able to draw 1,000 watts of energy via a soulmate, via prosperity, via healing, right? This is all energy that I want to draw into. I have to realize that it's not just a function of how do I grab more energy or how do I get more things. I have to transform my spiritual vessel to be able to hold this energy. So every day there are things that we are doing that are either getting us closer to becoming that 1,000-watt bulb or that 5,000-watt bulb, or there are things that we're doing that's shrinking our vessel, causing us to not be able to have the capacity to hold the blessings that we crave and desire. And often when we're not getting those blessings, we start to blame things outside of ourselves, other people, our circumstances, family members, the economy, politics. And every time we blame anything outside of ourselves, we shrink our vessel even more. And then that spiral takes over. And then there's a circuit breaker, spiritual circuit breaker, that when a person keeps doing negative actions and negative vibrations and they get lower and lower, there's something that's called pain. Pain is the circuit breaker. Pain comes in to cleanse a person of negativity, then expands their vessel again. So either you can expand yourself through all the things that you talk about, all the things that you teach, all the things that your guests talk about, expanding their consciousness, expanding their vessel, or pain and suffering can also get you there.
Really. What's the thing that's still hard for you to break through, or sometimes you forget and you have to be reminded with a painful lesson?
Oh, that's a great question. One of the things I've learned is it doesn't matter how long you've been spiritual or you've been working on something or what your past experience has been. Every test you go through is sent to you by the universe that is exactly on your level. The challenger, your opponent, is exactly equal to where you're at in order to get you to your next level. And the only reason the next level isn't comfortable is because it's not your current level. It's a level that you're not familiar with. So of course you don't see it. Of course it's illogical. Of course it's dark. And so what I realized in this year, this has been probably one of my most transformational years, is that I am such a perfectionist. I am such a perfectionist that everything I do, I've always felt has to be the best. And this was the year I realized that part of why I'm trying to always be the best is I don't want to let other people down. I have to kind of give off this persona because I'm representing spirituality and I don't want to make spirituality look bad. So I have to have everything put together.
Plus you've got a big business. You want to make sure your employees, your team, your investors, whatever it might be, your customers feel like you're credible as well.
Correct.
So a sloppy human being walking around.
Correct. I can't be sloppy externally or internally. But what I realized was that what that was causing was a lot of guilt and shame every time I fell short of the mark I needed to be at, or the expectations I put on myself. And then what was happening was the guilt and the shame was creating much more negativity than all the things I was trying to perfect. So guilt and shame lowers your vibration more than any other mistake you make. People make mistakes like, I don't know, let's say you're in a relationship and you say something to your spouse or to your girlfriend or boyfriend that hurts them or upsets them and you feel bad about it. That was one moment in time where you created a little negative energy. But the guilt and shame that we carry after making a mistake is 1,000,000 times the negative energy because it's constant. Every second you hold on to guilt and shame is another moment you're injecting negative energy. So the test isn't the mistake you make, it's the guilt and shame you have afterwards. So how do you remedy that? And this was my biggest lesson. It was taking the pressure off of myself of trying to appear as someone that's perfect and spiritual and allowing myself just to be myself everywhere I went. And I can't tell you, how freeing that was, but at the same time, it created so much instability in other people because everyone's like, wait a minute, this was the David we knew. And now what's this? I said, no, this is today a little bit more of the real me. And now I'm actually building a new foundation in my life that's much more authentic to who I am.